today I'm gonna be trying out htmx for the first time. I actually used it before, but I've just heard people talk about it all over the internet. People like the Primagen and web dev Cody and other kind of YouTubers have been talking about it. So I've decided to try it out myself. So I've opened up their website here. I'm gonna try to read through it. So introduction. So I'm gonna start. It says htmx gives you access to Ajax, CSS transitions, WebSockets, and server-sent events. I have no idea what this means. Directory in HTML using attributes. So I have a perspective of how HTMX works because I've seen people like use it or talk about it or over the internet, but I've never really tried it myself. So I have like this view. So what I know is that like it uses like attributes, HTML attributes, to do like this stuffs and all that other things that you might have need JavaScript to do for you. So it says here, motivation. Why should you only use an anchor tag and a form tag to be able to make HTTP requests? Okay, so it makes sense. They're trying to like change HTML, give it like some sort of superpowers without actually using JavaScript. Even though I'm pretty sure HTMX was written in JavaScript, I'm pretty sure that's the case. So it says here, why should only click and submit events trigger them? Okay, so I suppose that they have came up with other events to do that. I'm not really sure, but I suppose so. Quick start. So they say you just have to like link this to your project. So I'm gonna try to create a project for this. I'm gonna say htmx project. I'm gonna create cd htmx project. Right, then I'm gonna create two things because I know HTMX needs like a front end and a back end. So I'm gonna create these two different directories for the front end and for the back end, like that. Then I'm gonna go into let me just do this. Let me just open it in VS Code like that. Okay, while it's opening, let me go to the documentation page and see what they have to say. So I'm gonna go through the installation first. Installing. So there's like all these ways of doing it. There's using the CDN, downloading a copy, using npm, using a webpack. I think I saw something before, like an alert. Okay, so they were saying like HTMX 2.0 has been released. It is not currently marked as latest. Okay, so they are trying to tell us like that the npm version doesn't have like the latest version. I think so. So I'm gonna use the CDN one. So I'm gonna go back to my VS Code that I have opened here. I'm gonna create a file, index.html. Then I'm gonna create a template. It's very easy. Let's say htmx try out, right? Then I'm gonna go and copy what they say you should copy to install. Okay, so I think I'm gonna use the minified. I'm gonna use this one. Don't want the one that is not minified because I'm not like doing what's going on. We'll just do this. Copy it and then paste it here like that. Plus let me open this in a live server so that I can see what's going on. Okay, so it's currently empty, so I'm not really sure what to do now that I've already created the project. But let me see what they instruct here. Okay, so they say Ajax. For the Ajax request, there's this htmx.get. So this just issues a get request to a given URL. Okay, there's htmx.post. So let me create a Node.js backend for handling this what the backend, so that we can have like an API. So I'm just gonna say npm init-y, wait for it to load. Okay, so while it's loading, I'm gonna keep on leading. So there's a button here, right? Button htmx.put. So this like sends the put request. So I'm gonna try to do this. I'm gonna try to do something simple with it. Okay, so now that the project is initialized, I'm gonna say npm install express nodemon and cause, because I'm pretty sure we're gonna get some cause error. So let it install. In the meantime, I'm gonna open it and start lighting the backend. So I'm gonna say index.js. So I know that we're going to require express. Like from express, right? Then we're going to need cause, of course. Why else to install it if we're not going to use it? Require cause, like that. Then I'm gonna say const app is equal to express, like that. So basically I'm just creating a simple express API. I'm gonna create a port, and then port 5000 I think is good. I'm just gonna start this app.listen port, and passing it like some sort of a callback function that will run immediately after the API or the server is created. So I'm just gonna say console.log like server is running on HTTP. What did I do? Localhost. So I'm gonna pass in the port like that. Then I'm gonna create a simple like endpoint for like handling some sort of a response that once I click a button using htmx, I want to see a response. So I'm gonna create a get endpoint. So I'm gonna say app.get. So it's just gonna be, I think, /user. So what I want is I click a button and it shows me like user details or user information. So I'm gonna do that. Okay, so I'm gonna say request response. So this is just basic Node.js stuff and Express stuff. So if you don't know this, just don't worry. This is just a basic API, nothing fancy, nothing weird. So I'm gonna create an object, call it user. So name is gonna be like John Doe. Plus I have to ask, who is this? Like I've seen this name like all over the internet too, in designs and all the kind of stuff that developer do I'm not really sure who this guy is. I'm pretty sure he's just like a fiction person. And email, John Doe at like email.com, something like that. So this is enough. So I'm gonna try to return this. So I'm gonna say first I need to say something like this: user info is equal to like a p tag user name. Then I'm gonna say user dot name, put in like a break tag, then close this, then say something else. I'm gonna say user email is equal to email, then I'm gonna close this p tag, then I'm gonna say response.send. I'm gonna send back the user info. So let me try to run this server real quick. So I'm gonna cd backend, and I'm gonna say, okay, before that I forgot to set up the package.json. I did not set up the scripts here. Start .js, right? So I'm just gonna say npm start like that. And this is not like the first time this happened to me. Somehow my VS Code extension always like replaces this get method with length. So this time it works. So I'm just gonna open this and see what is going to happen. Okay, so I'm gonna go /user. Email is not defined. Why? Email is okay, right. I'm gonna say user dot, my bad, sorry. Okay, so this is the data that we have seen. This is from the Node.js API or server. So I'm gonna try to like get that from this server to this htmx like URL something. So how am I going to do that? Let me just open up the documentation. They say like you can do this. You can like pull this request. Okay, interesting. Let me see how can I do that. So I'm pretty sure that there's some sort of way to like split something, like swap something. Let me see tag. So input. So now I'm at the English teacher. Let me minimize this, and I'm gonna create like a button that once I click it, it displays the user info to the other page. To the other area. So I'm gonna create a button like click here to see your info or something. Then I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna create like an ID of, yeah, I think they used an ID here. Yeah, I see it. So they use an ID to target the search results. So this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna just do as what they have done. So I'm gonna say user. So this is where we're gonna display the details. Then to the button, I'm gonna add an hx dash get okay, to http. Let me just copy this, don't have to write it. I'm a bit lazy today. Okay, so what I expect is once I click this, I see something here. So let me try it out. Okay, the moment of truth, nothing happened. Why? Why did I fail? Invalid path. Plus I forgot to put in the cause middleware. Maybe that's the problem. Let me try again. Invalid path. I don't know what that means, or why it's telling me that. Let me do something else here. So once this endpoint here should be request not. So once this response is reached, I'm gonna just say cancel.log. The whole request. So if this works, like so, it hasn't even reached like the it doesn't even reach the backend. So why is that? Not really sure why it's doing that. Let me just open their documentations. Let me try to figure this out for a little bit, because this is my first time using this. Don't have any idea what I did wrong. Or maybe they don't want me to use like an external URL. What if I try to like use the htmx in the Node.js project? I think I can do that. Let me see what I have to do. If I want to use it in the Node.js backend, I'm not really sure why it fails. So so this is the actual code. Pretty weird stuff. Okay, so invalid path. I hate debugging stuff. Maybe I did something wrong. Okay. Let me add a target. I didn't even add the target. So key up, change delay. Let me copy this. I just add it here, and I'm gonna say like the target is user. Okay. Invalid path. Why? Why is it telling me an invalid path? So I think the only way to fix this is by adding in the project in the same directory as the Node.js one. I'm not really sure, so I'm trying to think in my head what I did wrong. I'm not really understanding what I did wrong. So let me try this. Let me just close this and go back to the index.js, and I'm gonna say app dot use express dot static in the public folder. Okay, and I'm gonna add in a folder here, call it public. Then I'm gonna copy this and paste it here. Okay, right, let me see what happens now. Okay, so now the htmx, okay, boom, damn, right, boom boom boom, did it, finally did it, boom boom. I'm so happy. So that was the issue. Like it did not know, like, if the it did not know that the project was on another like server or port. So that's why. Wait. All right, okay, fine, it works. So click something here, boom, works. Yeah, very short code. So pretty much I can't say that I like htmx just because of this, but I'm pretty sure it works. So if you want to try it out, you can try it out. Let me see the backend if it plays. Okay, so this is the whole request object. So like I console logged it before, so I'm on Ubuntu, so all this stuff. Okay, so that's my first impression on htmx. I haven't used it before, so this is the first time. I think I might try it again some other day, like try to build something bigger than this, maybe use htmx and Go, because that's what people like are talking about all over the internet, like htmx and Go. I happen to be learning Go right now, so I might use it as a project to help me become better in Go. Who knows, maybe I might stop using JavaScript, which I just did in this project. I created JavaScript Express API. So that's pretty much it for today. That's my honest impression. htmx is really amazing. You can see that just like using like just a button and some attribute where we fetch something from an API. You can see we fetch the data here, so that's pretty cool.